And with that, I'd like to turn this over to our Attorney General. Peter?
Thank you, Governor, and happy birthday to you. Thank you for your leadership. And, my mother often tells me that when I'm speaking to the public, usually to her through the television, I don't smile at them. And I try to tell her that usually when the Attorney General or the U.S. Attorney is announcing something, it's usually not good news. But today is not one of those days. Today is a good news day. A good day for law enforcement, the community, and people of the state of Rhode Island as a whole. The governor is exactly right that this was an incredible team effort by all branches of government, by their respective staffs, by the community, by my own office, police chiefs. Certainly it starts with the governor, the Senate President, and the Speaker, because without their support, this day doesn't happen. And so I want to thank all of you, Mr. Secretary, Senate President Ruggerio, and Governor, for your tremendous support, both your personal support, we had individual conversations about this issue, and the support of the police. Now I want to thank Providence Police, Commissioner Harris here. Providence, in many ways, set us on this path by showing what body cams can do for transparency and accountability. And that was a bold move by Providence to do that. And I'm grateful for their setting the pathway, as I said, and frankly being a sounding board and presenting a series of test cases as to how we can address this issue. I want to thank the Police Chiefs Association and a small team of chiefs, Chief Corrigan, Chief Connor, and Chief from Little Compton, Chief Raines. It took me a minute. Chief Raines moves around a little bit. I don't know if he's here. Sometimes I have to think about where he is today. Chief Raines, long-standing member of state police, and now Little Compton. That team, along with a lot of other people, sat down. Major Ludovici was a real leader in this effort, the state police, to really sit down and think about how this had to work, and that effort started last summer. I want to thank Senator Acosta and Representative Batista for their leadership and their vocal and outspoken demonstration of why this is so important to the community and additional law enforcement. So thank you, Senator and Representative, for your support. As well as the IBPO. Grateful for rank and file law enforcement officers who understand that this is such an important thing going forward. One thing I've heard over my career, particularly, in the last decade or so, is don't tell me what happened, show me what happened. Don't tell me, show me. Whether it involved statements by defendants when I was U.S. Attorney, as my fellow U.S. attorneys changed the way law enforcement records statements of defendants to make that a requirement instead of an option. Show me, don't tell me. Whether that's been a judge, a federal judge, who told my office when I was U.S. Attorney, if law enforcement doesn't record a defendant's statement, I'm going to issue a jury instruction which holds that against the government. Show me, don't tell me. When it comes to grand juries and juries, don't tell me what somebody saw, show me what happened. Today more than ever, juries, grand juries, and the public want to see what happened. Don't tell me, show me. And that's why body cameras are so important. They're important because it's an opportunity to hold law enforcement accountable in those instances where it's necessary. It's also an opportunity to show the public that police officers, as I believe they do many, many, many times, if not most of the time, did it the right way. Show me, don't tell me. It's an opportunity to build community trust for the vast majority of Rhode Islanders that are left to decide for themselves what the truth is if we can't show them what happened. Show me, don't tell me. Body cameras can do that. They may not be able to tell us everything, but they'll tell us a lot more than what we know right now. I can't tell you how many times as a prosecutor, it just happened yesterday, I've sat in a room or stood in a hallway with other prosecutors, sometimes with law enforcement, but sometimes it's just us, the lawyers, as we're trying to figure out what kind of case we can bring and whether we can prove it. And look, I can't foresee or some judge or jury is going to do with the case I present. But when I bring that case to a courtroom, I believe in it. And for me to believe in it, I have to know what happened. And if someone can show me and not tell me, then I know. Unfortunately, I don't always have that level of evidence. And yet, just yesterday, we were talking in the hallways. You know, sometimes it's not between two parties, it's the same party. Which version of what happened do we believe? The one on day one or the version on day two? This can really help that effort. We're going to be able to equip at a reasonable cost, involving state money, federal money, and money recovered by my office for 5 years. Any police department that wants to equip its officers, its patrol officers with body cam, they can do it. They can opt in. It's not mandatory, it's an opt-in. If they opt in, they can do that. We'll all be able to show everybody in Rhode Island what happened. We'll be able to show them, not tell them. It's a huge step forward for the state. So I'll leave it there and turn it over to the next speaker. But again, I want to thank everyone who made this day possible. Really critical work.